All right, peace, peace, peace. What up? First and foremost, hopefully the Most High in your house shall bless you all day. By His mercies, we are consumed. We're alive in the Most High in your house shall's body. And two, we're naturally alive, man. And I want to get into this, man, because because they actually shout out to brother sent me first one. They was talking about it on the class last night, man. Well, mentioned it, man, because because don't get twisted, man. Like, let's get this in Psalms real quick, man, and our weapons of warfare aren't carnal, and let's get this from David, the mighty warrior, man, because honestly, at the end of the day, man, especially during that time, that's really the only sword that's going to save you is the word, man. It's like testimony, gospel, the new covenant, you know. The faith, the word being in you, man. That's just is what it is. Like your faith, your trust in the Most High Yahusha, man. But also too, man, don't get it twisted. Like the brother said, man. Because on the class last night, man, don't get it twisted, man. Like all those. Listen, man, we still come from a people of mighty warriors too, man. Now, not everybody's a warrior as well, but because a lot of times too, just because it's a man doesn't mean he's a warrior. It's okay to not be a warrior. There's nothing wrong with that. Like even like on a natural tip, like we always said on here, man. Like it's okay to be Trey. Shout out to Doggy Diamonds because he said that one time. But yeah, man, that's okay too, because I don't even consider myself a warrior. But me personally, I'm more like I'm more like like the actually no, let me grab it real quick. I'm more like this is a nice bag too. I'm more like Yoda, man, because if you know anything about Star Wars, I ain't the biggest Star Wars guy, but Yoda, the green light, yeah, I like this bag too. This bag's kind of nice. I'm not using it, but for some reason, but I got it the other day at Dollar General. It was nice, but I don't if any of y'all know about Star Wars, y'all know y'all know I haven't even seen that show, the Baby Yoda, the Mandalorian, I think, but well, my point was, anybody, if y'all know about Star Wars, and if you go look up what the lightsaber colors mean, and actually, crazy thing is, my favorite color is green. So, but the green lightsaber pretty much means they fight when they have to. That's kind of how I am, man. I've only had to defend myself only when I have to, man. Me personally, man. I'm pretty sure y'all brothers and sisters like that too as well. But some of y'all might be different, actual wars. Shoot, I know brothers and sisters, brothers in the word, outside the word that are had that warrior type of spirit, man. But my point being is that before we get off track, it's the fact that listen, man, even if you walk because listen, even if you want to walk around with a gun, man, there's nothing wrong with that, man. Don't if you feel like that's something you need to, you don't do it to murder or because that's what they was talking about last night. There's a difference between murder and kill, man. Because this really thou shalt not kill. It's really thou shalt not murder, man. Because murder, especially without a cause, man. But kill, there's times to righteously kill, to kill somebody, we got plenty of book, for that. But not that you're going around just doing that, because don't get twisted. Like Proverbs 16:12 says, the Most High in your house shall weigh the spirits. They know your intent by it. Malachi 3 goes into the way, examine and take heed of your spirit. Because it's really the spirit of the law, spirit of things. Because things could get done be lawfully, but the Most High house is going to weigh the spirit behind it. Just like, for example, right, in Exodus 21, say when it says the two men strive together, and one with fist or stone, say if you get into a fight with somebody, you really hurt them, but by law, man, you gotta pay the hospital bills or something like that. You have to especially more if it's in the word. But even that, you gotta take care of sick time and things of that nature. But the Most High in your house is gonna if you're willing to do that, it's okay, cool. The Most High in your house is going to weigh your spirit, because in that whole thing in Exodus 21, if y'all know what I'm talking about, it's really the brotherly love. It's damn, man, no, I shouldn't did that. Let me take care of his brother's sick time and things of that nature, man. Or things that he needs to recover from, man. Yeah, so that's what it's really the brotherly love, and it's not the fact that it's lawful, but I'm gonna do it, it's worth it because most of your house is gonna weigh your spirit. But that's neither here nor there. But because they was talking about this last night, man, and but listen, man, let's get to Psalm chapter 4 and 6. It says, Psalms 44:6. For I will not trust in my bow, neither shall my sword save me. So don't get twisted too, man. Like, that's at the end of the day, like, our weapons of warfare are not carnal, spiritual, man. One, we warring against ourselves, man. Like, warring against that old man. Like, seriously, warring against your members. That's why, like, for Psalms 144:1 says that, and also James saying war against your members, man. War against the old man. That's the ultimate battle. At the end of the day, that's like they said, notorious, man. Like, Diddy's character said in Notorious, man. Like, the guy that played Diddy, he said, listen, we can't change the world unless we change ourselves. Like Michael Jackson said, the man in the mirror. It's not even Satan, evil spirits, the other nations, man. Even, people that are adverse to you. No, it's you. So that's neither here nor there. But also, too, man, but at the same time, too, because don't get twisted during the persecution, what Yahushua said. Listen, he said, get yourself a sword, man. So there's nothing wrong with that, too. But my point being is that, people forget, man. Let's get it, because it's all the same thing, man. Because people forget that, that the Most High, that Yahushua. Wait, where's that at? Oh my gosh, where's that? People forget that. Oh my gosh, where's that? That Yahushua is the son of David, and David was a warrior, man. So yeah, man. There it is. Yeah, man. So people forget that, because what did Yahushua say? Listen, if there's one kingdom, my soldiers, they will fight, man. So don't get that twisted, man. Because because that's why a lot of times too, things not only Christianity or because it's not wrong. It's nothing because don't get twisted. Yes, Yahushua was very peaceful man, but get as well. We serve a balanced God because he lays out Exodus 15 he's a man of war, but also too not all the time he's also a man of peace because it's just a time and season for things, man. So it's time for season of war, time for peace, man. So don't get that twisted though because we serve a balanced God. So don't get that twisted but yeah, man, it's just all that. But my point is that the Most High, the Yahushua is really the son of David, and David was a warrior. But I really want to go into how because it's all ties in together, man. That's why the Most High Yahushua, he comes in the volume of the book because just like Yahushua, that's just like David, the other nations like Esau, the Edomites, respected him. Actually, there's nothing new under the sun. So these Edomites now, man. But we're gonna kind of go into that. Let's go into that now, man. The Edomites and all these other nations as well, man. All these United Nations, all these nations there, they still respect the son of David, just like the other nations, the adversaries, our enemies, respected David then, man. As far as war, let's get this, man, because let's get 1 Kings 11 real quick, man. Because he was really 1 Kings chapter 11 verse 16. It says yeah, exactly. Yeah. 1 Kings chapter 11, verse 21. And when this is when after the fall of Solomon, and now the Most High Yahushua during they're upset with us, and Solomon he raised up an adversary to go to war with us, man. So yeah, 1 Kings chapter 11, verse 21. And this is Hadad, this is an Edomite. It says, when Hadad heard in Egypt that David slept with his fathers, then Joab, the captain of his host, was dead. Hadad said to Pharaoh, let me depart, that I may go into my own country. So yeah, then then as you read on, the Most High Yahushua stirs up enemies for us because due to Solomon's fall and what he was doing, and two, what we were doing as a people too. But but notice how it's respected David and Joab was, because listen, man, like we said earlier, we come from a lot of great this is why a lot of times too you can't get upset I gotta renew my mind. I got this call comes into spiritual maturity of how this even Esau now, even these current nations now, or this current society, this current kingdom now, they commemorate their warriors. So do we, man. Because just like Veterans Day or Memorial Day, man. Let's let them have that. Any nation, really, the people is going to commend their warriors, man. Don't we do that with Abraham? Well, even Moses, because they was they weren't as known, but they got down too. But the Joshua, David, Joab, Samson, the Maccabees, all the judges, Gideon, things like that. Doesn't Sirach 44 and Sirach has, and other places in the book have memorials of them. So yeah, man, it's always going to honor their the men of war. Also, too, man, like Sirach 25, it says, listen, it's a shame. It pities his heart, like the Sirach said, when to see a man of war go to poverty, man. But that's another story for another day, too. That's Yahweh Shah on another level, but, that's something else. But, yeah, man, that's just is what it is. But notice how much David was respected, man. Let's get this. And Joab, David and Joab was respected, man. It says, and when Hadad heard in Egypt that David slept with his fathers, that Joab, the captain of his host, was dead, Hadad said to Pharaoh, "Let me depart, that I might go into my own country." So yeah, just like let's get this Isaiah chapter 45 and verse 17. Now we're gonna hit this on a natural sense, man, because you know. Fred Hammond has this classic songs with "No Weapon Formed Against Me Shall Prosper." I gotta actually listen to it again. I love that song, man. But I grew up listening to it. Like that's one of my favorite gospel songs, man. Not my favorite gospel song from him, but probably "Bless." But that's my probably second favorite song, and one of my favorite praise songs. But let's get this Isaiah chapter 54. I'm sorry, real quick, man, because yeah, man, that's just his way. But this is actually talking about like Yahushua when he returns, man, in the world war. I mean, in the war, making war with the other nations, man, in the world war. It says no weapon that formed on natural to this was going into, man. Because I know we read a lot of times read during times of adversity and when you're going through trials and tribulations or there are different things trying to kill off the old man, old woman, things, and it's just trial and tribulation, something like to increase your faith in the Most High Yahushua. But they're also too, but on a natural tip as well. This is talking about Yahushua when that time comes. It says, "No weapon formed against me shall prosper, and every tongue that shall rise against thee in judgment thou shalt condemn." And this is the heritage. This is the heritage of the servants of the Lord, and their righteousness is of me. Yep, their righteousness is of me, saith the Lord. That's what that righteousness is. Genesis 15:6, Galatians 2:21. The faith, man. The belief, man. That's it is the new covenant, the gospel, the testimony, faith in Most High Yahshua. That's different between Deuteronomy 6:25. Nothing wrong with the law. The law is perfect. It's great, but that's just our righteousness, though. It's not really that's not the Most High Yahshua's righteousness. Nothing wrong with that, but the Most High Yahshua's righteousness is believing on them as Scripture has said, the testimony, the new covenant things in nature. But that's neither here nor there. But yeah, man. But that's what it's talking about. But just like David was respected, by his adversaries, David, Joab during that time, and you read 2 Samuel 23 and First Chronicles, somewhere in First Chronicles, I think 11, man, about David's army, man. They even say, listen, David, he was chafed in mind. Meaning he wasn't all the way there. Like when it came to war, he was very destructive, man. Very, very gory, man. Because that's why a lot of times people forget that, as well, man. Because I know it can be no disrespect to our brothers and sisters in Christianity, but a lot of times too they can leave that stuff out. It's not all of them too, because some of them go into that too. But they kind of forget that. Also other fractions as well, but not just Christianity, but whatever Baptist, Jehovah's Witness, they forget that. But whenever, honestly though, this is just in history in general, man. Whenever you want to be at peace, that's something need the world or things to be at peace. The war has to come. That's the only thing. A lot of people have to go. That's just is what it is. But yeah, man, that's just is what it is. But yeah, but notice how just like David was respected during the other time, all the Edomites, Ammonites, Moabites, all the Philistines, Canaanites, all the Hamitic nations, and they respected David. They should respect the son of David, man. Because what was it 41 years ago with Ronald Reagan, the Edomites, just like those Edomites now, they like we read in 1 Kings 11. Now then they was they was afraid of David. They had a respect for for him and David, his military mind, his army. Just same thing now with the son of David, man. Because remember with Ronald Reagan 41 years ago with Space Force, it's still on YouTube, man. They saying, oh man, we had to gear up for outside forces, man. What you think they was talking about? The Most High Yahushua and the angels, man. That's what they talking about, man. They're not talking about no aliens, man. No, it's talking about the stuff the Most High, because they know it's coming. They know prophecy. Don't get twisted. They know that, and but also too, man. That's what movies about, Independence Day is about, and other films like Battle of what was it? Battle of L.A. You name them, those type of movies. Yeah, just like those like Predator, just like all those things that those alien movies are about. Really, it's about the Most High Yahushua and the angels. And Esau thinking he can overcome the Most High Yahushua and the angels. But also too, it's the same similar like the thing we talked about the other day with zombie movies. It's like a satire or like them poking fun of a slave revolt, man, like a revolt of like Jake overcoming them, like just about war, like we talking about this on natural tip. But yeah, man. But just like that, man. So let's get to second Esdras chapter 13:31, man. Because you can look up the Ronald Reagan speech, man. So like just like Esau then, like not saying Esau because second Esdras 6 and 9, but of course the other nations, these other nations, they respected David then, like his adversaries respecting them, they respect them now. Because why I think all these other they building all these the space forces, like all this AI and stuff like that, all these weapons and stuff like that. But subconsciously, they know they can't win. But of course, I'm just saying Esau for this example. But Esau's like pride, and these other nations, not just Esau, but these other nations' pride, like they're still gonna But second Esdras lays that down. But they're gonna still fight them. But let's look at that. They're gonna still fight them, but they're gonna be scared to fight. Although I wanted to get into this though to kind of clear things up, because listen, man. Listen, like Sirach says, listen, as his mercy, so is his judgments as well, and his righteous judgment. And like when he makes war, it's righteously judging. Because look what the world, this world, even the former world, has been habitual lawn steppers. That's why by his mercies we aren't consumed, man. Because second Esdras chapter 13 verse 7, it says, I'm sorry, it says, where am I at? Yeah, the section Esdras 13 and verse 8, it says, and this I beheld, lo, all they that were gathered together to subdue him were sore afraid, and yet durst fight. So yeah, it was afraid, it was terrified. Just like Revelations 1 and 7 says, they wailed of him. And you know what it is to wail? Like damn near faint, pass out, like oh my gosh. Like yeah, I remember IUIC said this. The brother Deacon Athan, he said this too. He said it was funny. He said, "Listen, they're gonna be afraid, especially of a so-called black man that you can't kill, man. So that's just is what it is, man. That's a fact, man. He was right on that, man. They're gonna be afraid, man. I just want to be on we want to be on the right side of that too, man, because he coming for everybody, righteous. At the end of the day, for real, he's coming like Jeremiah says, man, the right circumcised and the uncircumcised spiritually, man, the righteous and the wicked at the end of the day. But in the judgment starting at in his house, not even only house of Israel as in us as a nation, but the house of believers. So that's just is what it is. But because remember what he said in was it Ezekiel or Isaiah when it says, listen, start with the elders and all that stuff first. So yeah, but that's just neither here nor there. But yeah, man, that's just is what it is too, man. But it's like it's nothing new under the sun, man. It's like David during David's time, the average, all his adversaries, the other nations respected him and feared him. Same thing now, man. But let's get to second Esdras chapter 13 verse 31. Let's go to 31. And one shall undertake and fight against another, one city against another, and one place against another, and one realm against another. So yeah, man. That's why then Psalm says his chariots are 1,000, what he's coming to do, man. So it is what it is, man. It's just that's why you're dealing with the same guy, man. It's it's nothing new on saying he changes not, man. Actually, let's just grab this real quick, man, because we get this Exodus 14:3, but I haven't read this one in a while. I want to get this time, because we know who the word. Let's get this too. The Wisdom of Solomon 18 verse 15. It says, "Thine almighty word." Well, we know who the word is. John 1:1. Yahweh shall leap down from heaven, and thy royal throne, because his throne is he sits on the right hand, and as a fierce man of war, and the man in the midst of the land of destruction. So yeah, and this is what it is. This was talking about Egypt, but the second Esdras 15 says, listen, I'm gonna bring y'all. I'm gonna destroy Egypt again spiritually, man. So that's just is what it is. So yeah, man, just it's nothing new on the sun, man. It's the son of David. The people forget that Yahushua has come. He's of the son of David. David was a warrior, but he came not this whole reincarnation doctrine, but as far as the testimony, the gospel's sake, he came as like, when he came during his ministry, he was Solomon to bring peace, like, peace. But now he's coming back as David, just like he left as a lamb, he's coming back as a lion. Revelation says that. Jeremiah says that, like, so Revelation 5 and Jeremiah 4 says all that stuff, man. So yeah, man, that's what I'm going to this too, man, because it's very, very what you call them too. But me personally, like, I like Second Ezra says that, Amos said that. I don't want to see that, man. Why would I want to see the Most High Yahweh's righteous indignation? Just like we always said, like, that's like seeing your father angry. I still don't like want to see my natural father angry, man. Just like, Chris Rock had a joke on Bigger and Blacker, like his special that came up 26 years ago. It was 1999. He said, listen, once it got, he said, he had a bit. He said, man, once it got to daddy, he said, all right, no. Like, when I got in trouble, that's the same thing when I got in trouble. Like, my mom, even if it got to mom, I was kind of like, no. But when it got to my dad, no. Like, I don't want to see that. Same thing, how much more like Hebrews 12:9 says, the Heavenly Father, man. So, I want to see that. We desire to see new heaven, new earth, man. But, but these things had to come to pass, man. But, that's why Amos says, what do you that desire their Lord? Like, you say you want to see it, but man, it's this deeper than, even scarier than a horror movie, man. Man. So, hey, man, but just like his adversaries, David's adversaries respected, respected him. So did him as a man of war, because David's probably one of the greatest warriors that ever walked the earth. Like, and honestly, too, man, let me grab this too, man, because this is why all this stuff, it all comes from the scriptures, man. Because the art of war, man, all that stuff, man, it comes from the scriptures, man. Like, when I'm reading this, man, we could really, like, write down precepts and, like, see, okay, this is where Sun Tzu got it from. This is where he got it from, man. Like, I get Genghis Khan and, like, Ivan the Terrible, all these people, man, but David, all this stuff like that. But really, the Most High is really the man of war, man, because, like, they say even Moses, how skilled Moses was in war. Joshua, but Moses, what his was in war came from the Most High and Yahushua themselves, man. So that's just is what it is, man. So hopefully this is edifying, man. So peace.